So the Premier League title race is officially up for grabs. It's every man's title to battle for. At this point, Manchester City, who were the dominant force in the league in the last 4 years and even beyond, have now shown clearly that this is not their season. They're still in it. But this obviously is not that season where they're going to dominate or go all the way to win it. It just doesn't look like that. It's wide open, and the likes of Liverpool somehow have so far taken advantage. They're in the lead. It appears that let's start from Arsenal. From an Arsenal perspective, this for me will have been that season where, the last 2 seasons they've been fantastic chasers. They came very close, both in 2022-23 and last season as well. So there was no reason why Arsenal should not be in a very strong position, given how far they chased and how well they put a fight last year. But right now, if you're an Arsenal fan, I'm sure you'll be extremely disappointed knowing that this is that year where Arsenal fan believes we should be winning something big, something major. You can't bet on the Champions League because it's every man's. The whole of Europe is up there. Even teams that will not do well in their domestic cup somehow might fight for them in Europe, and it still have a chance there. But the Premier League, for me, should have been Arsenal's title to collect this year, and it's not over. But I feel like Mikel Arteta has not done enough to take advantage at this stage in the title race. You can blame it on so many things: injuries, a bit of bad luck. Martin Odegaard's absence in the team has shown over the last couple of weeks, and since his return, things have got better. But you see, we still don't have the cutting edge. A game against Everton should not be a game we drop points at home. We shouldn't have drawn that game whatsoever. The numbers look good. We had all the good numbers, everything else, but we just didn't have that cutting edge. Again, you can go back to the transfer window and say, just imagine we had a striker like Victor Gyökeres join the team in the summer, or Victor Osimhen, or those players in that mold. You could tell that it will have been the difference between a mediocre Arsenal that struggles against some teams, drop points here and there. And look at Liverpool. Despite going down one man, I think in the 19th minute or so against Fulham, they found something within them to pull a draw out of that game. That's the sort of fighting spirit that every Arsenal fan would expect an Arsenal who should be hungry to win a major trophy should be putting forward. So again, you can go out and blame everything else. You can blame injuries, you can blame a bit of bad luck, poor decisions in the transfer window. But at this point, I would say the coach needs to take full responsibility. I saw in the game against Everton that there was a bit of indecisiveness. I think in my previous videos, I mentioned how careless rotations, playing someone like Thomas Partey in right back position, we've seen it over and over again. It does not just work. The rotations don't always work. He doesn't seem to understand or get it right somehow. Once he starts to, once we don't have, the full team to select from, and he has to make some very, very reckless changes, or he has to make some changes, he seems not to ever get it right, and it's costing us over and over again. So as an Arsenal fan, I'll tell you, I'm very disappointed in the fact that the very season where Manchester City appeared to be crumbling, and initially people thought it was just a blip, but it's obvious that now it's a full-blown crisis, because they will obviously not. I don't see them coming back. I think what's worse for Manchester City right now is not that they can't close the gap. It's that the current form is still looking like it's not. There's something just not right with Manchester City right now. That actually means that they will likely be losing points down the road. So it's everyone's title to grab right now. Chelsea are not out of it. Chelsea are actually doing well at the moment. I'm sure most people didn't predict Chelsea will be in a position they are right now at the beginning of the season, but they look like they can even win the league title. I can assure you Liverpool will continue to drop points as they progress. They're still, they're still leaders right now, but I can assure you that down the road there will be more points to be dropped by Liverpool and everybody else. But then the most consistent team will win it. For me, and in my opinion, I think Arteta needs to bring his team together. He needs to speak to his leadership. If there is a need to make some investment in the winter window, this will be the time to start to have those conversations, because you might not have many seasons where City will fall off this way and it will be everyone's title to grab. I can tell you for certain that Liverpool will do everything possible to maintain that fight. if you look at their Champions League form, they're also doing fantastically well. Chelsea are starting to click. The last few years of investment in the squad is starting to kind of pay off. Of course, Arsenal are still in it, but they must make the right decisions at this stage. They must go back. I think last year they were starting to fall apart somewhere around the Christmas time, and then I think they went out to a warm weather somewhere. I think it was somewhere in the Middle East, I think Dubai or something, and they spent a couple of days there and they came back, rekindled, and everybody was in the right frame of mind. I think they went like 10 straight games on a winning streak. So that sort of thing. Arsenal need to find back their winning form. This is the time for them to get their act right. It's everyone's title to grab right now. And if Mikel Arteta wants to make a statement and end this season as champions, or at least win something major, he needs to talk to his leadership, he needs to talk to the team, he needs to get everybody ready and geared up mentally. We saw a lot of sloppiness in the game against Everton. That cannot continue. Arsenal needs to take up the responsibility. Mikel Arteta especially needs to take responsibility, he needs to own the errors, he needs to own the decisions and get ready to really give a fight. And trust me, come May next year, it will be probably a very surprising team that will come up tops, and I hope it's Arsenal that finish at that side of the table. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. I think it's still very much up for grabs. Nothing is lost. You don't lose the title in December, except of course you fall off and lose too many games. But of course, nobody wins the title in December. So I think it's time to buckle up, and everybody needs to, get all hands on deck and put in a good run. So let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.